Hey, what's up, everybody? Green and go. I messed up already. I messed up already. Hold up. Start over. Go back. Go back. Start over. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Green and Gold Over Everything, Season 2, Episode 5. And today, not as positive as the last 2 weeks. We're looking good going into the last 2 weeks. Jordan Love returned this week, which a lot of fans were very happy about. That's Packer enthusiasts, maybe not so much, and there's reasons behind it. Joining me today, my guy Randell Burns coming in. We're going to talk about this Vikings and Packers game this past week. We're going to preview the Rams and the Packers that will be happening from SoFi this week. So y'all sit back and relax, and just know that it's Green and Gold Over Everything. Episode 5, Season 2 starts now.
Here's Love. Taps it a couple times, going end zone. Caught, Dobbs, touchdown,
from the
Green Bay.
Atlanta 32, off the play fake. Love fires over the middle, and it's caught for a first down and a touchdown by Dontavian Alexander this afternoon. Carr taken down on third down. Kelly Clark, the two-time Pro Bowler. 9, second quarter underway. Carr down. Back at the 16-yard line, Rashawn Garrett. Here's Reed. And Reed wins. And Reed got a block and a touchdown. Looking Kelsey's way. Chasing behind. He's sacked by Luke Van Ness. Here come the Chiefs. Pressure's on. Love. It's a Watson. Oh, did he catch that? He did. Dobbs in motion. Love. To the end zone. Touchdown. Oh, Melton's got that one. And Jones runs down their pace. Fake it to him here. Love, back foot, has a man wide open. It's going to be caught by Musgrave. Racing towards the end zone. He is in. Touchdown, Green Bay. 35, four-man rush. Prescott fires for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Jair Alexander, he's got it. Up on his feet, racing to the end zone, and it's in. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Welcome, everybody. It's the both. The screen treating us bad. They don't want both of us to be in this screen, but that's all right, though. We're going to make it happen. There he is. There's my guy, Randell Burns, in the building with me today as we're going to bring you some Green and Gold Over Everything. And, Randell, there's a lot to talk about. Let's see, right off the bat, Hero Ball is back, and then not in a good way. Yes, sir. Hero Ball is back. Of course, the Packers, things didn't go too hot the other day, but it is what it is. Randell, before we get going, how's everything going, my friend? How you doing?
I'd be better if Jordan Love would, as much as I complain, would play it a little bit more like vintage Rodgers. But hey man, we alive. We woke up. We get to talk about the Packers again, so I'm good.
I think we'll be good. We'll be good this time around. For those you're saying, what are you talking about, Darrell? If you've been on the rock for the last week. The Packers lose a tough one to the Vikings, 31-29. And in a game, Randell, where we saw this Packers team start off, I mean, when you can there's no way to lay an egg at home the way they laid an egg at home in the beginning part of this game. And they were literally down 28-0 almost at the half before Green Bay was able to score right before the half to make it 28-7. And I'll be honest with you, all hope, in my opinion, was like, okay, it is what it is. And we talked about it before the show started. I'm in Arizona covering the Commanders and the Cardinals. Then my press spot that they had me, that I had my camera set up. I look up, and right there, the green and gold is on TV. I said, they must have knew I was coming, baby. So I got the Packers and the Vikings right there in front of me on a 70-inch television. I'm like, this is great. Well, it wasn't so great. I had to sit here, and the Cardinal people were laughing at me, man. I'm in here like, yo, what is going on here? Like, I'm fussing at the television screen. I said, you know what? I'm just going to have to walk away because
they should have paid attention to their own team.
Yeah, right? Right. Yeah, it was rough. It was, I'll tell you what, Jaden Daniels put on the show though. Quarter blacking, you know what I'm saying?
He was quarter blacking.
He was out there giving them the business. I said, okay, I see you, Jaden. Jaden's had a really good year so far. Washington got something to smile about. We'll see this week. They got Cleveland this week. But with that being said, just kind of want to, your thoughts on the game, what you saw from it, that you wish you wouldn't have saw from it, things that you said, okay, that's not too bad. And, just your overall thoughts of this game against the Vikings.
Oh, I took notes.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. By all means.
And folks, we keep a nice group chat going, especially on game day. And as
True.
soon as I saw that young man walk in there with that number 4 jersey,
you knew it.
I knew what kind of game it was going to be. That man was going to get torn all up in his knee and just start slinging that rock. And he slung that rock to the other team. Man, Darrell, let me ask you a question. Do you know how many interceptions Jordan Love has thrown in his last 3 games?
Let's see. He had 3 in that game.
Yep.
I want to say he had 2 against the Eagles.
Yep.
And then I think he had 2 against the 49ers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
So that's a strong 7. That's a strong 7.
That's a lot of picks in 3 games.
It is. And it's crazy. Prime. Big games, though. If you look at them, they were pretty big games. The Eagles game is a big game, obviously 49ers game. And the Vikings, you're playing 3 big teams. And in every single game, they were close. Like, they could have won the game.
Do you know what the best quarterbacks do in big games? Protect the ball.
They do.
And he's becoming Brett Favre in that sense, where in the big games, you are handing the ball to the other team. You're keeping us in the game, but you are handing the ball to the other team. And that's why I said I need you to be a bit more like Aaron and be a little bit more cautious with these throws. And I know he's got the gunslinger mentality. I get it, but that's not the NFL today.
Mm-hmm.
You got to protect the ball. And we rank 2nd in the league in explosive plays. So they define explosive plays as runs over 10 yards and a catch over 20 yards. We're 2nd to the Ravens.
The Ravens are number 1?
Yes.
What? That must be Derrick Henry. That's got to be Derrick Henry because
he is shown, this offense is shown that they can move it. But I also need them to show that, hey, you can go get me these 5 yards if we need it, 6 yards if we need it. It doesn't got to be all boom or bust. And that's what a lot of times what it looks like with this offense. Like, we'll get 13, and then you might get nothing. And that's where we thought that Matt was going to take what he was doing with Malik, running that ball. And granted, we was down so much so fast you couldn't really run the ball the way you wanted to.
Right.
But I think this is a Jordan thing because it looks like Jordan is always looking to throw the ball deep.
It's like he couldn't wait, man. It was crazy. It was crazy. I was like, slow down, man.
Like, just get me 6 or 5. And he just got to become more efficient. He's shown like his ceiling is top 3, top 5 in the league.
Right.
I need your floor. Like, here's one thing, and I'm gonna ask you this. Anytime Aaron was going to start a game, with the exception of like that last year, were you ever worried?
No, not at all. I felt like as long as I had Aaron, we had a puncher's chance, no matter what. Even when the years we were like I can't remember what year it was, but we were that last year, but it was another year where we kind of just was iffy. But I always felt like we had a puncher's chance. Like, we got Aaron, we're good. Every year felt that way.
And I know it's only year 2 of Jordan, but I'll be so nervous during these games. And I just need this young man. Like, I need him to raise his floor. I need more consistency. I need to know that, hey, I know I'm going to get an efficient day, a solid day. And if I don't get that, I know I'm getting an elite day. I don't need 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
Yeah. And
that's not going to work.
He's not, and we both understand he's not going to win every single game. That would be great, but we know he's not going to win every single game. But I think we both feel like you want to be able to see him compete, and like you said, in a solid way. You're going to throw a pick every now and then. 3 is unacceptable. Like, it was just like, and I know they were trying to come back, but the way it was going down at the beginning of that game, I said to myself, I think he's trying to get his footing, obviously, and it felt that way. And then that pass that he threw to Christian Watson, where Watson got pretzeled up a little bit. I was like,
dudes around him.
It was like 9 guys around him. Why are you throwing
the ball?
What are you doing? He look. I love Christian Watson, but he fragile. You know what I'm saying? A little fragile.
But you know what? I can't even chalk that one up to being fragile. Like that was what do they call it? A hospital ball? That was a hospital ball.
Yeah,
that was on 10. You can't, especially that dude, you can't put him in harm's way like that.
Yeah, they did him dirty. They did him just a little bit dirty. And I saw it, I said, oh no. On that 7-inch television screen, I'm like, oh, what's going on here? My thought about it is the way it felt for me. As soon as I saw it, like at halftime, right at halftime is right around the time I believe I had to go on the field to get ready for to get some pregame shots before the game started. And I remember just saying, like, man, whatever, man. I had already cleared it out of my mind. It's 28-7. We were talking back and forth in the group chat. It's like, whatever. So then, like, they started making a little bit of a move. Yeah. And that team in the second half, that's the Packers team that if we get consistently, ain't nobody beating this Packers team. That's a Super Bowl. It's the Young Guns Super Bowl team.
I would say the only team I think, if we play like that consistently, it's the Lions and the 49ers. And the 49ers are so banged up, it's us and the Lions.
Right.
And that's what the team can be. The problem is, I need Jordan to be like a 1980s point guard. Your job is to distribute. Like, I love as much as people get on Brock Purdy, like, oh, he's got an all-star team. He's always distributing the ball and he's making the right decisions.
Yeah, Purdy doesn't make mistakes.
No.
Like they call him a game. People always make fun of people being a game manager.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it.
You game make a lot of money.
They win you Super Bowls. Look at Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady became a little bit of a, he could have done hero ball when he needed to turn it on. He didn't have to turn it on because he was managing the game so well. They were up. So
and that's what I need Jordan to do.
Yeah.
Manage the game and then be elite when I need you to be elite.
The patience, you can almost see it. You'd be like, and it's crazy because he'll make a great play and you'll be like, that's my quarterback. And it's coming. Like the way him and Jaden are connecting and the way they're playing together is just, it's a masterpiece to see.
I said wide receiver one.
Yeah, wide receiver one. Let's talk about the wide receiver one.
It's not even close anymore.
It's not even close anymore. Wide receiver one, killing it. 7 catches, 139 yards and a touchdown. This man is what, 5'10", 5'11"?
He did on 8 targets.
He is every bit of a Tyreek Hill style receiver. Maybe not the speed. He's got the height, but man, when I see him, I say, man, we got our own Tyreek Hill. This is crazy work. And he ain't as fast as Tyreek, but the Packers have their own Tyreek Hill, and he's dangerous. And when he gets into spots, he takes off. But that 7 catch, 139 yards, 1 touchdown, man. What was your thoughts on Jaden last week, man?
He just continues to Goat was drafting his ass off that last year.
Wasn't he? Oh my God.
Drafted his ass off last year. The dude is phenomenal, man. And he plays with so much heart. He plays bigger than 5'11". He plays like he's 6'4". He's fearless. He makes smart decisions. Like, it's amazing. And if Wicks gets going the way we think he can get going, it's going to be dangerous because Wicks got 13 targets and he had some costly drops, but his release off the line is incredible. His separation is incredible.
It's quick.
He just got to concentrate and hold on to the ball. He didn't drop a lot of passes last year.
Right.
So I don't know what happened this game, but I think now, coming into this week, knowing that the focus is on him and Jaden, and it might get to the point where Jaden starts seeing, get more attention from, okay, now it's going to be a cornerback. The number one cornerback is going to be on him, and a safety might shade over. That's going to open things up for him and Romeo. And you know what, man? Losing Christian really hurts.
Yeah.
Because that speed, and I see what Goot saw on him when he drafted him.
Right.
The size and the speed, and he's been healthy this year. He didn't get a lot of targets, but I think they had him rated as one of the highest run blocking wide receivers. So this is a dude that's just playing his role and not complaining.
Yep.
And I know you asked me about Jaden, but just the whole receiving corps playing well.
They are. Milton, can't forget, Milton's playing well. When he pops in there, he's doing well. Like, it's a beautiful thing to have after all the years of just oh man, why ain't you drafting a receiver? Like I told you earlier, I said if we draft a receiver, well, I told you earlier this year, I said we draft a receiver, there's no need. Like what? Why is that happening? Why are they drafting a receiver? Like not with this state of this team. You know, that's how I felt for the first time in a long time. Heck, to be honest with you, I felt like the only thing we should have drafted on offense would have been offensive line. That's it. Everything else was good. I'm like, I'm good everywhere else. Just make sure the offensive line is straight. You lost Ranya, go from there.
And I remember people were projecting Keon Coleman to us, and Aaron Nagler would be like, who is he going to beat out? He was like, and he was saying like, look how good these guys are playing. There is no point. Anybody receiver you bring in here has to beat out these dudes. That's a waste of a spot.
Yep, and it just didn't make sense for people that were still clamoring for receivers. I'm like, I don't see how you could. Not with what those. I mean, you go back and look at last year, and I know just to swing back, but even the Vikings game last year in Minnesota, Milton went off in that game. Milton showed off in that game. Reed would have a game. Dobbs would go off. Christian went off against the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, he got hurt.
So it's like you never the benefit of everything was you never knew which player. Which receiver was going to be the one. And here's the thing. If you're focusing on this guy, well, guess what? Here's the other guy. And I think that's why Matt got so mad in the offseason when they say, who's your number one receiver? I'm tired of hearing it. Like, I got 6 number one receivers. How about that? And they're all out there doing their thing.
And then,
you gotta love it.
Why would Matt say who the number one is to piss somebody off? I'm going to let these dudes keep fighting for that spot.
Y'all figure it out.
Yeah. Then, here's how good our receiver was. Me and you love Grant Du Bois. We didn't want that dude cut. He should have been cut. And as soon as he gets cut, the Dolphins pick him up, and he was starting for him.
Yep, right away. That's how good. That's one thing I've always said about Green Bay. Now, like the last couple of years have been a little choppy, but Green Bay's always been able to find 1 or 2, maybe 2 to 3 receivers. Throughout my time as a Packer enthusiast, they've always been able to, for the Robert Brooks, the Javon Walkers, like they always found somebody who worked well with the Packer way, or the way the Packers do things, or the way of the Packer offense going, no matter who the coach was or whatever. They just figured it out. The GMs have always been on point on that. So they had a rocky couple of years where things weren't going their way, but they still were able to find great pieces.
Check, Robert Tonyan just got signed by the Vikings. We find dudes.
Yeah, Robert. I forgot about old Robert Tonyan. I forgot he was still out there. Trader, he's gonna play with everybody in the division. Get
something that's really alarming to me though is that pass rush did not get home last week, and Gary, I think they said his win rate is like 3%. We just paid you this money, man, and
don't get lazy now.
If you're not gonna get the sack, at least help create a sack, get pressure. And he was doing nothing. I was looked at some clips. He was getting taken out by Aaron Jones.
Oh my God, Aaron.
Brother, you are 6'4", 265 pounds. Now, granted, Aaron Jones is excellent in pass protection.
Yep.
But you should not be getting taken out by Aaron Jones.
I'm going to tell you real quick. I know to jump off that subject. So in one of my fantasy groups, there's a Vikings fan in there. So we played each other, I think, like 2 weeks ago. And, he's like, oh, I like playing you guys. And then he's like, good luck this week. I hope your boy doesn't go. Because he know what he mean. He knew what Aaron Jones meant to me. And the way he said it, it was so disrespectful. I didn't know how to feel inside. He was just like, yeah, your boy looked good for us, man. We really appreciate it. I was like, can you stop talking to me right now? Like, I wanted to fight this guy. And, he's a nice dude, man. But I'm like, I want to fight you right now, man. Like, I want to fight you right now. You talking crazy to me like that. But, I digress. But Aaron did look good in the game, 22 carries, 93 yards, no touchdowns.
The game?
No, I didn't see.
So he said that somebody on defense walked by him and was like, yeah, you didn't get a Lambeau leap. He was like, I didn't come here for a Lambeau leap. I came here for a win, and I got that.
And then he still got the leap at the end of the game. It doesn't even make a difference. What the world? He still got the leap. We need to shut up. Like, hey, here's the thing, man. I mean, they got the dub. and he looked good doing it. And all it did was make me wish he was still here. That's all I can say from that. But watching this game, especially the performance in the second half, it continues to give me hope on how good this team could be. On the defensive side of the ball, real quick, our man Xavier McKinney. Now, I probably could have went a couple ways on the defensive player because Quay Walker had 8 tackles, but for the 4th straight game, the guy that we paid big money to come in and do things has done just that.
Doing his job.
He's doing his job. He's getting interceptions. He's on pace for 17 interceptions, ladies and gentlemen. That would break some record, I'm pretty sure of. But every game he finds a way to the ball. The system is helping him out tremendously, Randall.
Mm-hmm.
Helping him out tremendously. What are your thoughts on that? Like, what are your thoughts on McKinney so far and what he's been doing for this team?
I feel bad for him, and that dude played his behind off. He played his behind off, and it is never good to see, like, and I'm not saying that guys didn't hustle out there, but you out there on the back end doing what you got to do, and the front four isn't getting home. They're not creating pressure. That's making your job harder. And he never gave up, man. He just kept playing. Hard, and that's what I love about him. That's what I love to see. And that's all you could ask for. Like, down 28-0, and these guys are still out there hustling. That's all you could ask for, man.
And that's the thing. Like, and here's the thing: there was a part of me, even when I left to go start shooting pregame stuff for the game, and I looked and I said 28-7. But there was a part of me that said, I think we still okay. I didn't want to say it out loud. I just walked away. But as I walked away, I come back in the room. They scored a touchdown. Okay, cool. I left out, came back in. They scored another touchdown. I said, okay. So then the Cardinal personnel are like, hey, man, your boys just went and scored another touchdown. I'm like, oh, okay, we'll see. And I just walked away. And I'm on the field, and there's a fellow photographer of mine, my man Dula. Shout out to Dula. He's a Packers fan, a Packer enthusiast. So shout out to my man. That's my homie right there. So, and me and him were talking on the sideline. He's like, Darrell, man, like, he said, what's going on here? And then I told him, I said, they made the comeback. He's like, I just can't believe they're playing so well. But it's just, you don't want that. You don't want to have to come back from behind. They had to keep doing that. That's they had to do that in the first game against the Eagles to an extent, where they had to fight towards the end. You don't want to be in those positions. You want to be like you were in those 2 games that Malik started. You want to be comfortable, and you want to feel like, okay, we got this game in the bag.
Yep.
So this week will be intriguing for that.
And the other thing too is the penalties are out of control, especially on offense. The penalties are out of control. And it goes back to what Ruck said. Folks got to start putting their behind on the bench. Matt's going to start putting people's behinds on the bench. It's not okay, because that's how we shot ourselves in the foot a lot at the beginning of the game. The first interception that he threw. Why are you trying to get the ball, Musgrave? It's not going to you.
I don't know. Poor guy, and he lost his starting role. I think he's just like, I gotta show him, man, because Kraft has come in and done his thing. I just gotta show him.
Perfect example. Did you see the Kraft fumble?
I didn't say that, and that's the thing. I feel bad, y'all. Like, y'all don't beat me up. I was kind of running all week, so I didn't get a chance to fully see it.
Kraft is running. He lowers his head and he holds the ball like this, and literally the DB just stands there, eyes it, and punches it straight out. Get out of bounds. There is, at that point, I think it was 6 minutes left in the game. I understand that is your mentality. You want to run everybody over. And you know what? Hindsight's 20/20. If he runs him over and scores a touchdown, maybe we're looking at it differently. I guess, man, just tuck that ball in. I don't know why he decided to go like this. I don't know if that's something the Packers teach. Maybe if Ruck was here, Ruck could explain that better.
Yeah.
But those are the things that are going to get us. And it was funny because as the game was going on, I think it was like right before halftime, me and Ruck start calling each other. And Ruck is like, you think we need a vet now? I said, maybe 1 or 2.
maybe 1 or 2.
Maybe 1 or 2. One on offense, one on defense.
I'm man enough to like push back a little bit on it. Just 1 or 2. I don't need no more than that.
Yeah, some of this silly stuff going on is like, the potential is there. One of the most talented teams in the league. It's time to grow up.
I gotta agree.
Time to grow up. Like for example, Jordan had no business playing. I don't care
And-
how well he did in the second half. If you want to be the leader of his team, sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing.
Right? He didn't have to be there.
Just
He's
sit
so
behind
worried
down.
about Malik, and I know we talked about last week. You was like, "Hey man, you go in here, you run in here, do all this, and then you go in here and lose your spot, or you create quarterback controversy that don't need to be created. Like you would have been fine to wait till this week, because
Now he
obviously,
created one.
yeah. And then you watch him, and you're like, okay, he's there. Like that play where he got hit, and he went and grabbed his knee. I said, I almost lost it. I said, man, I'm over here, Malik, where are you? Malik, I'm over here screaming for Malik like he in the room. He can hear me. I'm like, you got to go put him in. You can't. It just, if he was fully healthy, I wouldn't have that problem. We know that he's probably playing at 80%. He's probably at 80% right now. And the one false move.
Exactly.
One false move. And we're talking about a whole different dream. Oh, man. But before we get it, go ahead.
And that's what I was thinking about. Like, I don't know if he's paying attention to the hype or what's being said in the media. Like, people are starting to fall in love with Jaden Daniels. CJ Stroud, coming into the season, it was Stroud and Love, the two young guys that can carry the league.
Mm-hmm.
And you have people praising Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
I get it. Dude, you got your money. This is one of the, we always praise athletes that go and gut it out in a gritty performance. Dog, it was week 4. If this was week 15, there's a playoff spot on the line.
All day.
I get it. It is week 4 against a divisional opponent. As much as you want to get these divisional wins, it's okay. We're going to see him again. You're going to sit down.
Mm-hmm. I agree
now,
1,000%.
Matt's at press conference saying, yeah, he's still sore. And then,
of course, he shouldn't be playing.
Now, this is something you're going to have to manage all season. And it's probably going to require surgery at the end of the year.
I feel event session. Let's go. Needed something to make me smile. So, look, on this event session, before we get into our preview of the Rams, you see it at the bottom of my headline. Rest Jordan Love. There was no need. This segue right into what I wanted to talk about. There was no need to bring that man out there and put him in danger whatsoever. I don't care. That's when if you're Matt, you've got to say, hey, man, hold up. I said, when we feel like it is right, we'll get you back in. We paid you $255, whatever the money is. He's getting paid $55 million a year for the next 4 years. We need to protect that $55 million a year investment instead of putting them out there in this situation. That's why I feel like Matt and Gooten them should have said, hey, man, you have to get healthy. And yes, we were all like, it wasn't like we had a losing record. We were 2-1. You know what I'm saying? And I won't sit here and lie to you. I feel like if Malik is in there, we win this game. And it's because Love is not 100% yet. I think we had a good chance to win this game if Malik is playing, because it would have been a different strategy. But still, I think they had a good chance. And that's my event. I just like rest him. He did not need to play.
He need to play. And we said this, like, you don't got to come back at least until that Houston game.
Exactly.
At least that Houston game.
The Cardinals are boo-boo. I saw that in person. I'm like, what is this? And I'm after watching that team, if they play that way against the Packers, it's not going to be close. It's not going to be close. Like, Green Bay should win by like 30. That's how bad. And their offensive line is terrible. They had Washington defensive line looking like a masterpiece out there.
And they're not good.
They're not. And I don't want this to bite us in a couple of weeks, but that's a game they can win easily.
When I would see him drop back in practice and he was dropping back slow, and I'm like, so y'all not going to put this man under center. And Jordan looks better when he plays on the center. The play action works better when he plays on the center. And they came out shotgun all the time, pistol all the time. Yeah, it's going to be one of them games. And he's also rusty. And then, as you see, second half, he shakes the rust off. But it's like, it shouldn't have even come to that. He should have been in street clothes on the sideline watching the game.
Yep, 100%. And I don't want people to think, oh, you're just saying it because they lost. I would have
No.
said that if they had won the game, I would have said the same thing. There was too many moments in there that I said, and I was like, oh, and I had to look away. I had to look away.
I'm like, why are you scrambling? And then he gets
Right.
a hold of his knee.
It just and look, like you said, the Favre, the gunslinger man. I can appreciate that at some points, but that when I saw that moments, I'm like, bro, no, there's too much money invested in you to be out here, gingerly running on the field.
Mm-hmm.
These boys don't care about your life. They care about going out here and doing what they need for their team to win the game.
They trying to get their check. They got a family to feed.
They got a family to feed. They are not worried about you and your amazing. Let me throw it out there. Amazing fiance. She's beautiful, brother. Like, shout out to you, Jordan. You winning in life, my guy. That's how I just want to throw that out there. But I'm just saying, like, you just don't do that. Don't put him in a dangerous situation. Even if we had lost this game in Malik, and I'm pretty sure the game would have been a tight game, and you could have had Jordan rested up. And I felt like in practice, like he's not there yet, but he's probably about at 80%. And they put him in there at 80, maybe 75% last week. And they probably got knocked down till about 70 this week because of the hits that he did take. It was unnecessary.
I would have rather he sat down and we lose that game. Like, if you'd have told me, like, look, Jordan doesn't play, but you're gonna lose, I'll take that every day of the week.
I'll take that because
it's a long season.
All right, it's long term. You're in better shape if he's 100%.
Yep,
you're in better shape if he's 100%, and there was no need to rush him. And I blame the Packer organization for that as a whole. Like, you don't. You were willing to sit this man out during training camp because you wanted to pay him. You was like, oh, we're going to sit him down because, he shouldn't play until he gets paid. Well, he shouldn't play until he's healthy. like what are we doing, fellas? And good, I blame y'all for that.
Now you've paid him. So you want to get hurt? No.
You don't want him to get hurt. That's the part that bothered me. I'm like, you're going to put this guy in this situation?
What I want to know is, because I remember watching Jordy Nelson's Packer Ring of Honor ceremony. He goes, the Packers have one of the most cautious medical staffs in the league. Well, where the hell is this cautious medical staff at with the quarterback?
I have a feeling they were cautious, but they were told otherwise. I'll say it. I'll say I'm pretty sure they was like, give it another week or two, and we could have waited off another. He could have waited to that Texans game. The Rams are in shambles. The Rams are in shambles, even with Matt Stafford. I don't trust Matt Stafford. He always plays well.
He does.
The Packers. So that one I could have been like, okay, you're going to jump back in. That's one I understand it.
But we could have ran all over them.
But they don't have no receiving core. They just have Kyron Williams right now, and the Tutu Atwell, who they drafted a couple years ago. He doing all right. Yeah. So I'm looking at those things. You see how the Cardinals are playing. Those are 2 wins. Those are 2 winnable games for Green Bay. And even with that loss, you're 4-2. You're 4-2 heading into the Texans game, which is going to be. It should be a masterpiece of a game. You're going to have 2 young guns. You got Stephon Diggs. I think it's in Houston. So it's going to be a game.
No.
Is it in Green Bay? Okay, so that's even better. So you're at home. You need to be full strength as much as possible. So why put him in that position? I just don't understand it.
That game is in Green Bay.
Man, because they got the Cardinals in Green Bay as well. So they're on the road this week and then 2 home games. And I just don't understand it. Oh my goodness. I don't.
They don't let this dude make his own decisions no more. He's 25. We all think we're invincible at 25.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I remember when I was 25, I was like, yeah, I'm on top of the world.
Yeah.
39-year-old me, almost 40 is like, nah, bro, we good. We good.
At 29, we thought, I can drink all night and go to work the next day.
Yeah.
You're 25. We're stupid. Now, Grant, this is a young man that's made really good decisions in his life. That was not a good decision.
No. And I know he wanted to play. I feel it. Look, the man probably said to himself, I've sat for 4 years.
Yeah.
And I want to play as much. Dude, but be healthy.
You can sit another game.
You can sit another. If you can sit for 4 years, you can sit another game. You can sit another game or 2 and let Malik continue to grow. And everybody know that you're going to start over Malik.
Exactly.
We all know that you're the better quarterback than Malik. Everybody knows that. But don't, we would have saw Malik continue to grow and give a security blanket just in case you do get hurt. And as a team, that puts the team in a better place overall. I think they did both players a disservice this week.
He put himself before the team.
He did, and that part of it, I'm not a fan of.
No, not at all.
Not a fan of. Well, with that being said, this week the Packers take on the Los Angeles Rams from SoFi. It's a 4:25 game, so for me that's perfect because when I'm on the way back from the Commanders and Browns game, I can watch that on the red zone. That'll take me all the way. That'll take me all the way home from the game right before Sunday Night Football. But last year this Packers team played this Rams team in Green Bay, and it was a 20-3 game. It wasn't the prettiest game, but the Packers were able to get the win in that one. And this time around, the Rams are probably in just as bad a shape as they were last year.
Worse.
Minus that they actually have Stafford back. But other than that, it's just Puka Nacua is hurt. He's out. No Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is out.
They're down a couple offensive linemen.
Yeah, they're down a couple. My man Steve Avila. That's my guy. At the Super Bowl, he put me to the test. He was like, "How do you say the last name?" I looked over at him. I'm like, Avila? He said, no, Avila. So now I've studied it. That's my dude. He's a great guy. We had a really good talk down at the Super Bowl. So he's out, or he's been nicked up. So it's just, this is a good chance for the defensive line, the defense to have a really good game, put a lot of pressure on this Rams team, and I just don't want them to make any crazy mistakes in this contest, man. I just want them to play good football.
It goes back to our conversation earlier. Be the point guard. Distribute the ball to where it needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to be elite. Be Brock Purdy. Be Tom Brady. Be boring. Run the ball. And just play solid defense. That's all we have to do. This team doesn't do anything special right now.
Yeah.
Their two special guys are hurt. They have a really good running back. And you know what is crazy? It's gonna be like playing us if we had Malik, except Stafford's not gonna run.
Yeah.
We should win this game comfortably.
Should.
And you have to protect Jordan. He's hurt. Everybody knows he's hurt. Other guys are trying to take you out. You have to protect Jordan.
And I would start Malik so bad. I want to start, and I know it's too late now, and most people, I know it shouldn't be, but it's like if they take him back out, it's like, oh, is he hurt more than he was? Yep. So now you created the narrative. That's why you should have waited, Matt and Goot. What were we thinking, guys?
Instead of listening to a 25-year-old.
Yeah. Listen to us. We know what we're talking about. We're Grizzly vets, man. Like, we sitting from the sideline, but we know, man, take care of our guy. Like, this, and we got 15 years. We can't have him out in 2-3 years and then say, yeah, well, they destroyed his knee. And we don't need that. We don't need that. We want this to be long-term success.
I was like, remember, I was making my jokes like, are they trying to RG3 this man? And it's like, no, he's trying to RG3 himself.
They listen. They made this man. It's like, well, if he think he's okay, no.
What you mean? If he think he okay?
Then trust your gut, my guy. Just let that man sit. And I bet you those second thoughts were coming through their mind as they, but they started thinking, man, I don't want to have that post game conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what that led to. They just didn't want to have that post game conversation. Like, oh, what's wrong with Jordan? Is he okay? And
wasn't he on the field pregame for the Titans with all his gear on?
Yeah, he was. He was out there.
And if they'd have left it up to him, that boy would have went out there and played.
He would have played in that Titans game for sure. I'm 1,000% sure he would have went out there and said, "Yeah, I can do this, man." I'm like, "No, bro, stay on the side."
Like, remember, like I think it was what was the second game?
It was the Colts.
And Matt kept saying he's doing everything he can to be out there playing. No, he should have been doing everything he can to be out there to heal.
Yes. And parts of me thought, okay, it's just a tactic just to make teams think about, okay, Jordan could play this week, and we gotta prepare for that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what most of that was.
No, I think he really was.
Well, I think in the first game that what most of it was. But those second two games, the last two games, he definitely was trying to play in those games for sure. There's no way the Packers would be crazy to let him play.
What I'm saying is, remember when Matt was saying he's doing everything he can to be out, I think Matt was like, no, this dude really thinks he's gonna play. That's what I'm saying. Like, we thought we took it as the gamesmanship, and then Matt's like, no, this idiot is really out here on the field.
He's trying. Like, bro, sit down.
Like, you should be sitting down.
you was this close to you were this
Tearing
close in
your
week
ACL.
1. Right. You were this close in week 1 to being done. It would have been the Malik Willis show.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? You might be 3-1, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But that's my thing, man. You know, you got to protect the guy. You just have to. Is there anybody in this game, you know, on the Packers side that you want to see some improvement from that you know, maybe in the last game is like, oh man, what's going on
Rashawn
here?
Rashawn Gary.
It's got to happen, right? It's just got to happen.
The dude from Michigan, who I have defended. I defended him when we drafted him.
Yep.
I defended him when he didn't get a lot of snaps behind Zadarius and Preston. I defended him when they paid him. My guy.
How much more can Randell defend you?
Like last year, he was coming off the ACL. Cool, no problem.
Yeah.
This year, you've been invisible.
And that's not good.
That is not good. Like
you're playing like you did in that last year in Michigan, where people say, well, he's got a lot of talent, you know, but the numbers weren't there.
I have a phrase called looks the part.
Yeah.
You are 6'5", you have abs, 265. You are turning into a looks the part.
Oh no.
That's not what we need.
No. Don't need
like
that.
Who was the guy? I was Christian Michael. He used to play for the Seahawks.
Didn't he play? He was a running back, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he played for the Packers for a while.
Was the king of looks the part. Everybody would sign this dude like he's gonna put it together. He's fast. He's too strong to just never put it together. He never put it together.
He played for the Packers in that year where Hundley, I believe, was playing because Aaron was. I remember him playing. I can't remember the year off top hand, but he did play for the Packers in that time frame.
I remember watching this dude in college. I'm like, oh, he's going to be the best running back in the league. The Seahawks had him. I think the Texans had, and just never put it together.
Never materialized.
Darren McFadden. I thought this dude was going to be great. Like Rashawn, do not fall into this category of looks to parts.
Can't, man. You just can't do it. Just don't do it, bro. Keys to victory. How did the Packers win this game? What 3 things you need to see from Green Bay in order for them to win this game?
Jordan has to play point guard. And when I say this a lot, just distribute the ball where it needs to go. I don't need you to do anything fantastic. Make the right reads. Protect him. Yeah. Give him time. You need to give him time in the pocket and run the ball. Run the ball. This game needs to end with more runs than passes. And then we should be okay.
Yep.
We should win comfortably.
Should.
Yeah, it should.
But you just never know, you know. But you said something earlier in the show that hits a chord. Like when we talked about, like, you know, Aaron, you went in there, you felt comfortable. It's like, okay, you're nervous because the comfortability is not completely there yet. Like I told you my percentages, you know, last year and where I felt where Jordan was at the beginning of the season. It was at 90, 95. Right now I'm at 80, but it's only because of the injury. And it's like, if the injury wasn't there, I'd probably still be on a high 9. But I'm still worried that he's going to try to do things, like you said, he doesn't need to try to do in order to win these games. And, you know, I need Matt to call those great games he did in the games 2 and 3. And that's what I'm worried about, that he's going to revert back to what he was doing before because Jordan is back. And I'm not saying that you know, there's still things Jordan can do that Malik can't do. But, man, come on. So what other keys do you have, brother? The deep breath.
Rashawn Gary. Please find a quarterback. I don't know how you're going to do it, but please find a quarterback. And secondary, like, and I'm not even talking to Xavier McKinney. This excludes you, brother. You there's no tips or nothing I can say. But these cornerbacks, like Keyshawn Nixon, my God, he is not a cornerback. He is not a cornerback. Like, I remember Ruck called me and he said, why is he still in the game?
Go get the vet. Go get the vet.
Go get somebody. Get Sam Shields. Get Al Harris. Get Mike McKenzie.
Shields.
Hell, go get Ahmad Carroll, maybe
Whoa.
the worst Packer cornerback
Whoa.
ever.
No, please, God, no. I still got bad memories, man. Not Ahmad Carroll. And then
Demarius Randell.
Demarius Randell had a good couple of years. Years.
Get rid of Keyshawn Nixon, man. This dude is not a cornerback. He is a returner.
He is an all-pro returner. And
they don't even return kicks no more.
And that's okay. Like if that's who he needs to be, that's who he needs to be.
Exactly.
He's an all-pro at that.
Exactly.
He's an all-pro at that. Twice, not once, twice. What are we doing?
I don't know, man.
So the one key that I have that I kind of want to implement here is, for me, they've got to find a way to make sure that Kyron Williams doesn't go off. And, like he's still having a pretty solid year, even under the fact, and even under with everything that's been going on. And so if you neutralize him, they have nothing. They have nothing. Matt Stafford is not going to run around there. They have nothing if you can neutralize Williams. And that's going to be the big part for the Packers. You neutralize him, this game is yours. And it's easy. Even on the road, this is yours on the road. And it should be a showcase game. I don't know if Jair Alexander is going to be back or not. I haven't looked at
practice today.
He practiced today, so that's a good thing. But there's no reason why you can't win this game if you focus on him. You got to nip that in the bud and make Stafford beat you with Tutu Atwell, or I always say his name wrong, but Atwell and DeMarcus Robinson and those guys. You got to and Kobe Parkinson. Those are the guys that if they beat you, they deserve to win that game.
If they beat us, we got to look at Matt.
Yeah, somebody got to talk.
Maybe some conversation need to be had.
Yeah, something got to give. But we'll see. We'll see. How do you see this game going? I think I kind of got a feel on it, but how do you see this game going? What's your prediction on this one?
If they do what they're supposed to do, or Rashawn Gary mysteriously finds a QB, I think we win 27-14.
That's a solid score. I like that one. I would say about the same. If I had to say, I think this could be a 3-touchdown game. Like I just think the Rams just don't have enough firepower. But if the Packers play the way they played in week 3 against this Rams team, because I think it's about the same level of competition overall right now, minus Stafford. I don't want to disrespect the Super Bowl champ because Stafford always comes to play against Green Bay.
Yeah.
If they can do that, I think they win this game by 3 touchdowns. I'd probably have it by like 35-14, but we'll see. I'm not going to put anything past Matt Stafford. He will find a way. If anything, he comes to play when it comes to Green Bay. Comes to play.
Right.
Yep. Well, all right, people. That's it. Green and Gold Over Everything, episode 5 here in season 2. My man Randell Burns. Randall, anything you want to say before we get out of here, bro?
Hey, check up on your folks, man. We had that really bad hurricane.
Yeah.
Just a really weird time in the world right now. Just check up on your folks. Love on the people that's close to you. Hug folks. And if you got somebody that you got some issues with, but you really like, man, I wish I was talking to that person. Just call them up.
Yep.
You never know what tomorrow's not promised. So
I agree with that 100%, brother. You really just never know, man. So good love on your peeps, and just make sure that you try to enjoy life. I think that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. All right, everybody. Well, look, we'll be back next week, episode 6. We'll have a recap of this Rams game, hopefully a positive one. Hopefully no vent session next week. Hopefully we got D-Ruck back in the building with us next week as well. But then we'll also preview the Cardinals game, as the Cardinals will be coming into town to take on the Packers at Lambeau Field. Until then, I'm Darrell Lawrence. That's Randell Burns. We'll see you all next week.